Do you want to understand the technique behind gang stalking that creates the illusion of a multitude of people stalking the target? It is the technique that makes all targets believe they are being followed. It's quite simple and primitive, to be honest. However, after living a gang stalking nightmare for 7 years, I will be the first one to tell you or to admit that this manipulation of the human mind is incredibly powerful, incredibly underhanded, and devastatingly effective. The technique does not really need a lot of elaboration on my part. All that it entails is literally to offend the target in order to produce a negative emotion, or to insinuate in order to produce a negative thought. Once the negative emotion or thought is seen on the target's physicality, the gang stalkers or perpetrators will either do one of the following: inhale loudly, cough, stomp, drop something loudly. They will also activate the car alarms, slam the car doors, everything that a target considers a sign of gang stalker activity is what is tied in to a thought that is related to gang stalking. And that's it. The result is that whenever the target has a negative thought, a negative emotion, the mind of the target will look for a sound. It will look for one of these sounds because the target's mind has been conditioned to do this. The target's mind has been conditioned to listen for a sound immediately after having a negative thought or emotion. The target is also presented with people slamming or stomping. The target will see these with its own eyes, his or her own eyes. And depending on the intensity of the stomps, the target's body will feel the vibrations. So these stalking signals, I guess, become impossible to miss. Also, when the target feels a negative emotion and there is no bang, that means that the target felt the negative emotion, but the gang stalkers don't know. So what this type of conditioning does is that the bangs, whenever the target feels a negative emotion, when listening to a word that caused let me rephrase that. Whenever there is a word spoken or a comment said that makes the target feel a negative emotion or a negative thought, the target unknowingly will alert the gang stalker. Because as soon as the target feels it, the target's body will do that, or it will stop, literally. That is exactly what creates the illusion of, oh, gang stalkers know what I'm thinking, because whenever I hear a word that I get offended by, they start using it. And it is because if you're a target, you told them, however, you didn't know. Now, imagine being outside on the street, and during your walk, you have a negative thought. And as soon as you have a negative thought, you hear someone go, and you feel the vibration on your body. Or you have a negative emotion, and you hear, boom, a car door slam. And it just these sounds jump out to you. But they are accompanying every single one of your negative emotions, every single one of them, all the time, all day. Now, if there's no one around, this is the crazy thing. If there is no one around and you have a negative emotion, your own body will either go, or you're gonna have a sort of twitch that is just gonna make you turn your head one way, or you're gonna feel a tap on your body. That is where a lot of the direct energy weapons come from. Let me turn on the fan. Well, hello, welcome to my channel, The Gang Stalking Playbook. My name is Efren Rodriguez, and in this channel, we talk primarily about the mind. I have had a lot of experiences where I have required or needed to understand aspects of my mind in order to survive. That is why this channel is called The Gang Stalking Playbook, because this channel began as a journal. However, these experiences have led me to understand aspects of the mind that I would have never thought that I would understand. If you're new to the channel, welcome. You possibly have never heard of me and have absolutely no reason to believe anything that I say. However, I challenge you to try the techniques. Try my techniques, and the results will speak for themselves. Give them an honest try. And once my techniques work, subscribe or write a comment, a like, or if you're feeling super generous, send me a shit ton of money. No, for real. Or I guess you can also share these videos with someone that you believe that will benefit from this information. Regardless of whichever one of the aforementioned suggestions you take, I will be forever grateful to you. Now, a lot of these sensations on your body are actually produced by your own negative thoughts. You have been conditioned to feel things whenever you have a negative emotion or a self-deprecating thought. The target is made to feel that people are responding to the thoughts of the target. However, the truth is that the target's mind has been conditioned to look out for a sound and to feel a sensation accompanied by the thud whenever the target has a negative thought or a negative emotion. This type of conditioning, when gang stalkers are not doing it, when the conditioning is done, the mind of the target will perpetuate the same sound, but it will look for a sound on the environment. And this conditioning itself, it is self-conditioning and self-perpetuating. So the mind keeps conditioning the target to hear a thud or to feel a tap whenever the mind has a negative emotion or a negative thought. That is why this conditioning typically lasts forever. And there you have it. This is the biggest secret in gang stalking, is this conditioning. And this conditioning itself is self-perpetuating. It is self-conditioning. So while you have the conditioning conditions you to keep being conditioned. As funny as that might sound, the only way out is knowing exactly what it entails. This is the basis for all of gang stalking. The entire thing is this same conditioning. So if you are outside, and so people will start banging their car doors to bother you. Boom, boom, boom. And guess what? The banging itself is gonna produce a negative sensation. And it's gonna be like, oh, they're following me. So your mind is conditioned to have a thought. They're following me. They're doing that on purpose. They're doing that to bug me every time you hear a thud of a car door. Also, the headlights, same thing with the headlights. When you have someone using their headlights on your face to bug you, or on your rearview mirror, or on wherever, straight to your face, and they do that to bug you, guess what? You're gonna start having the thought that person is doing it on purpose. And guess what? No one needs to be doing it on purpose. It is the same conditioning that it will perpetuate itself. And lastly, the gang stalking grin. When something bad happens to you, gang stalkers are going to be doing this. But I just don't have an evil face. I don't think I actually have an evil face. Like, I just don't. I just can't. I'm just not an evil person. Like, I just look funny. Anyways, well, when something bad happens to you, when something bad happens to you, or people are going to be doing things on purpose to bug you. And every time, they only need to do a couple of things. And then they're going to be doing that, like that mocking laugh, the duper's delight. And then you're going to have a thought, that person is a gang stalker, that person is doing it on purpose, whenever you see the gang stalking grin, without the need for anything to happen. And guess what? Next time something happens to you, your mind is going to actively be looking outside or looking for that grin, because you are used to seeing a grin whenever something bad happens to you. Therefore, you're going to be thinking, a gang stalker did this to me. That's it about gang stalking. It is incredibly simple, but it is devastatingly effective. It took me 7 years to understand all of that. And listen how simple it was, but you're trying to figure things out. Like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? Why is this happening to me? And you are reinterpreting your life as if someone is fucking with me. Because whenever you have a negative experience, you are subconsciously looking out for a gang stalker. You're looking out for people to do that evil grin. And the thing is that people do that grin all the time. And you're always going to find it, unless you understand the content of this video. All right? Well, thank you so much for watching. And again, this is the gang stalking playbook. If you're getting gang stalked, literally just watch my videos about gang stalking. You got the shit in the bag. And not only that, but you can actually do something about it. So you can document things that are happening, and you can do a lawsuit. So if this is happening to you at work, this experience, before you start getting confused, you find the logic in what's happening and then report it. All right? Anyways, that's all I have to tell you for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.